Well, randomly in no particular order or whatever, but we got the 4.6 liter out. It was a job, especially these bolts on the manifolds, believe it or not, being from 2005. Holy moly. Yeah, but got it out and fixing to get it sit down on the ground. That was a pretty decent little job. So Chevrolet, baby. Stick with Chevrolets. I can't really say nothing because I watched that all-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive, and those Coyotes are absolutely flying. But got to give it to the rear-wheel drive guys. Those LSs are sure enough getting it too. We're in the shop today, and enforcement CP, he literally, this dude here's strong. He drove all the way down from Macon to pick this motor up and sit it on the trailer. You see the muscles this joker got? He lifted this motor up and just stuck it on the back of the trailer so we can get it out of the way, so we can continue on this Coyote journey. This big Coyote fan right here, guys. You know, we don't really mess with this kind of stuff. You know, our platform LS. You know, we're big LS fans. So, you know, have a celebrity like this right here in the shop, big Coyote fan. He's been trying to get me on the convert me over to the Coyote to put in the S10, but we're not quite there yet. So he come down from Macon, Warner Robins area ish, in between that, you know, up north boy, but he's originally from, you know, down south. But yeah, we got the motor and everything snatched out of this thing last week, and we are kind of getting everything ready. Get the headers and all. Got this one bolted on, fits like a glove, and we're gonna get everything cleaned up under the hood of this thing, and try to make some progress. We're knocking away at this thing slowly but surely, but rock and roll. Alright, so me and CP fought this thing down in here. We had a little issue with the steering shaft. So y'all seen me fighting to get that steering shaft out. I had to get that steering shaft out. Once we got that steering shaft out, the header's cleared. We're fixing to drop the motor down on the motor mounts, and she's gonna be pretty much sitting in her spot. We did have to order some power by the hour relocation kits for the alternator and such, but we got that all situated, got those ordered, and it's going to take the alternator from down here on this side and put it right here, and it turns it around backwards basically, so you can still run the factory AC, the AC, you know, bracket and everything on here, and you can also put the power steering back on here because the newer model Mustangs had electric power steering on them. So we're slowly making way on there. I got pretty much all the bay painted and everything, kind of cleaned it up a lot, pressure washed it and everything whatnot. I had a tarp, I slid a tarp up under the car, pressure washed it so all the water would run outside, and got that all done, everything cleaned up. And yeah, we got this baby kind of sitting down in here. We're going to kind of finalize it here in just a few minutes. Big shout out to CP for helping me. Definitely got it knocked out. So yeah, it makes it easy whenever you got more than one set of hands on it. So yeah, we're knocking this thing away and we're rolling. So we got everything down in there, and one of the problems that we ran into is this nut, trying to get this nut on here. All right, the actual stud from the stock motor mount, we put new motor mounts in it. The stud that holds this bracket here, or not the bracket, the motor mount, you got the motor mount on the chassis and then you got the motor mount on the actual motor here. So this stud is sitting up against this header whenever you let this motor all the way down. So we had to get the nut started on there and then tighten the nut down a little bit, and we're gonna have to actually go in and trim this stud down to where it clears the header. So we ain't got to worry about it ever rubbing up against the header or anything else causing any, you know, issues later on down the road. So yeah, we're gonna get that, we got it pretty much started, and we're going to take and trim this down as we're letting it down and tightening this up. We're going to trim it slowly and just be careful with it so we don't, you know, get into anything else. So yeah, she's in there, but you know, you got little things like that that really kind of hold you up from making more progress on stuff. Whenever you got to come in here and do things like that, you have to be very careful because this is a very expensive set of headers. So yeah, we're gonna go through and get that knocked out, and then we'll be able to finalize that. CP got all the transmission mount and everything put in, so we're rocking and rolling on this thing. Well, we've been working on getting the floor pans and everything put in the convertible, and then Audie, it's hot today, guys. It's humid. It sprinkled a little bit, and then the sun came back out, and it's ungodly hot. But up with the bulldozer, and he's really getting all this back section finally cleaned up. He's done pushed a crap ton of that stuff back there. So yeah, he's getting it knocked out, and hopefully we can get all this back piece cleaned up and everything and start trying to get it all leveled out. So yep, it's coming along. But we made a pretty good bit of progress on this thing. I had to make some two little pieces where up under the braces, and I had to make those two pieces. Got the back piece cut out so I can get it all fitted, cleaned up and everything. And once I get that one finalized, then I can move on to mostly all the floor pans in here. So making those little pieces right there and having to cut it so you can still keep the factory brace up under it and you not mess that up it's just time consuming, drilling all those spot welds and stuff like that out. So we're making progress and we're trying to get her knocked out. So woo-hoo. Oh yeah, and I think y'all, we got put on the Mustang where we use AC 4.6 compressor and all, and we ordered a kit from Power by the Hour that retains the factory power steering also, because the newer Mustangs have the electric power steering, which I probably done explained this already, but it's been a long day. So yeah. Whew. So yeah, we're at No Mercy 16, and they're starting to do a bunch of testing today. Got that aluminum exhaust on there. Quiet. Out here midday, me and the wife, and it's blazing. The sun is kicking down for sure, but we're out here. Gonna try to spend most of the day trying to check out a lot of these hot rods. Come all across the world, I guess. There's quite a few of them. We're here for the G bodies and the S10s. LDR, bling. So I got all that directly behind the house, all cleaned up with the bulldozer. And Audie, he came and done some of it, and then he had to go do something or whatever, so he just left the bulldozer with me. So I done all this back here behind the shop, getting all this stuff cleaned up so I can add on like a shelter, just a lean-to or something like that on the back here. But get all that crap cleaned out of there, and I got a bunch of tin over there. But yeah, I'm pushing all this stuff back up to clean everything up around here, around this area here. Got all that stuff pushed up and cleaning all up on beside the shop. So I got that left up there in the front. I got that to push over, but I got a pretty good bit done. Bulldozer definitely makes it a lot easier, that's for daggum sure. But yeah, it's slowly coming together.